Well, Tennessee received some good news yet again for the second consecutive day Wednesday evening. The university released that Trey Smith, offensive lineman, left guard, 2017 freshman All-American and 2017 second-team All-SEC performer, will be back and ready to roll by Saturday's first season opening game against Georgia State. Of course, Trey Smith has been suffering from blood clots in his lungs. It was an issue found out in the offseason following his freshman campaign into his sophomore year. Trey Smith played the first 7 games of the 2018 campaign before the blood clots reoccurred, and he was forced to miss the rest of the regular season. Trey has been working out. He's been conditioning. He has been a full padded participant in fall camp, just hasn't been a full contact participant when the media has been there to watch practice. And the medical plan that Jeremy Pruitt has alluded to throughout the entire offseason, the steps have been taken. There's been consulting going from around the country, and finally it appears that the university, the medical plan, Trey Smith and his family have found that exact strategy they want to pursue to get Trey Smith back out onto the field. I will say Jeremy Pruitt yesterday noted numerous times that this was Trey Smith's decision. This was his family's decision, but he's very excited for Trey Smith to be back in the fold because, you're talking about a guy that came in here and, raised a lot of eyebrows as a freshman. He's been nothing but a team leader on the field, off the field. He's been a great ambassador for the university on campus and in the community of Knoxville and in East Tennessee. Really, he's been an ambassador for college football in the SEC and around the nation. So, first and foremost, congratulations getting back onto the field to Trey Smith. But now let's dive a little deeper into what it means for the University of Tennessee and that offensive line. Trey Smith came in as a freshman, played right guard, moved to left tackle later in the season. He started every game last year that he played in. Again, 7 games. He had to sit out following the Auburn win on the Plains at left tackle. So really, Trey Smith can play all 5 positions on the offensive line. He's never played center here, but I'm sure he could figure it out. Trey Smith is athletic enough, he's smart enough, he's good enough at the college level to play any position on the offensive line that he wants to. Typically, your best offensive lineman is your left tackle because as a right-handed quarterback, you protect that blind side. Why is Trey Smith not playing left tackle? Let me tell you why. When you look at Tennessee's roster breakdown on the offensive line, obviously the highly touted freshman of Wanya Morris at left tackle, Darnell Wright at right tackle. Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt, Will Friend, Jim Chaney, they want to get those guys in the fold at some point. I mean, they're going to be players for UT for the next couple of years, and hopefully they can get up to speed quicker rather than later. But in the meantime, Marcus Tatum is a fourth-year junior. He's coming on, and he's put on some weight, and he's had a really good camp. He's going to fall into one of those offensive tackle positions, depending on whether it be right or left. We'll have to see Georgia State. Of course, there's going to be a lot of movement. That's a disclaimer. There's going to be a lot of movement. Jeremy Pruitt has said 8 to 10 guys will play on the offensive line. We'll just have to see which combinations are out there against Georgia State. But let's break this down. Brandon Kennedy is going to be your starting center. Trey Smith now will plug in at left guard, okay? Marcus Tatum will play one of the tackle positions to begin, whether it be right tackle with Wanya Morris at left tackle, or if it's left tackle with Darnell Wright being a right tackle. So let's say this. It would make sense, in my opinion, and again, there'll be different combinations, we'll see. Trey Smith's at left tackle, left guard. Brandon Kennedy's at center. You bring true freshman Wanya Morris, who was here for spring, summer, and fall camp, a little inconsistent, but again, a young guy. You plug him in at left tackle. You have the ability to look down the line and say, hey, Trey, who do I have here? Hey, Trey, when we're doing a scoop down block, who gets the middle linebacker? Stuff like that. The ability, it's a calming presence for a 18-year-old to have a true freshman right to his right on the offensive line. So you have a true freshman in Wanya Morris at left tackle, Trey Smith at left guard, Brandon Kennedy at center. You have Marcus Tatum already over here at right guard. Really, the only question mark heading into Georgia State, in my opinion, who's going to play that right guard spot? Will it be K'Ron Calvert, who emerged in the spring, a big physical presence? Will it be the emergence of Jerome Carvin, who can play center, can play both guard spots? Will it be a guy like Riley Locklear, who has made a career of being a backup, but has filled in nicely and admirably throughout his career? Could it be a Ryan Johnson, who is a swing man, who can play anything on the offensive line, essentially, except for left tackle? We will have to see, but I think it would make sense for left guard for Trey Smith, which is where he'll play. You plug in that true freshman of Wanya Morris at left tackle, Marcus Tatum at right tackle. Your question mark heading into Georgia State's that right guard, and we'll have to see how it works. But I think overall as a unit, for Tennessee to click, to the best of its abilities. You have to have the emergence of those true freshman tackles of Wanya Morris and Donnell Wright because they have the ability. You have to have the emergence there, and Trey Smith at guard, because as a unit, I think Trey Smith will help this team out a whole lot better at left guard. This was a topic this morning on the starting lineup, Sports Radio WNML, the Sports Animal. So I kind of want to give my takes on it here on social networking, here at sportsradiownnl.com, and kind of dive into why I think it makes sense for Trey Smith to be at left guard, and then so on. You build the rest of your offensive line out from there. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, 2 days away. It's football time in Tennessee. Looking forward to it. I know you guys are as well. We'll talk later.